So what do you think would happen though if if Keith didn't put up Vic? Like what if he put up another duo? Because like that's a possibility that everyone needs to think about.
It is a possibility. I'm trying to see what that would do for Kiefer. Like why would another duo for him be advantageous for his game? Because right now he's got decent relationships around the house, right? And my thinking is, if he puts up say he puts up like a Terra, for example, right? Does that not, like, obviously Vic and him have already had something going, so he has an excuse. She put him up on the block, so he has an excuse, and she's a solo player. She doesn't have a duo.
Right.
You put up Terra, maybe then you agitate Tina in that situation. So I'm trying to think about it from that perspective. If he does that, then he does that. Obviously, it's a move that he feels he has to make.
Right.
What will it do for the house? I don't know. Like in the Terra situation, I don't think a lot of people in the house have like super close ties to her, except for Tina. But if it were like an Austin or a Braden, obviously that might agitate more people because they're
More
friendly with everybody in the house.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends on which duo, but
yeah, I don't really know how it would help his game, but like to me it just depends who he wants to go home, right?
Yeah.
Like if he wants Vic to go home, he'd put her up because he knows that she would go home.
Right.
I don't know if like what he's thinking with Kyle. I don't know how their relationship is. So like if he decides he wants Kyle to go, then you could see him putting up someone else.
Right.
That would have better relationships and less of a chance to flip, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know where his head's at with that. But I think it's just all about planting the seed of him getting the least amount of blood on his hands, moving forward for his own game.
I think Kyle is also a very impartial player. He's not going to make any emotional decisions either.
Right.
And he wants impartial people in the jury too.
Right. I think, yeah, that's the best case for all of us.
Well, best case for the three of us for sure is that Kyle doesn't go home, because Kyle would be an asset for the three of us. I don't know how Kiefer feels about Kyle, if he's over the situation or if he's not. That's obviously a conversation that Kyle will need to have.
Yeah. I feel like they just need to talk more and just like show his options.
How do you feel about it? Like, what do you get from Kiefer's perspective? Check. Do you feel like he wants Vic out, or do you feel like he wants Kyle out?
I mean, I don't think he wants Kyle out, because like he told him straight up he doesn't want him out.
Right.
As HOH.
Right.
And I feel like Vic has actually done something to him directly, and it's a good reason. Whereas, because Vic has always said like if there's a reason, I'll go up.
Yeah.
And I think, and like Kiefer had said it himself, like last week, like the only way you'd get Vic out is through a back door, like putting her on the block.
Oh, he said that? Okay.
Yeah. That's what Kyle and I were talking about the other day, where it's like he literally said that himself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it all lined up to that happening. But again, he has made like I didn't even think you guys were going up, so like he has made moves that I didn't expect. So I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, check. It was missed that. That's stupid.
I mean, it kind of made sense, but it's like an emotional move. Like it just.
That's what I was just
like,
gonna
it's not a move I
say.
would've made.
Yeah, it wasn't. Like from a game perspective, I get over those things pretty quick, but obviously like it affected Kiefer in the situation and I had to serve the consequences for that. And that's, you know, my bad for not realizing different types of players. And there are going to be different types of players in this game.
Yep.
That's fine. So, you know, was I surprised? Nah, probably not, because I felt like obviously he was still thinking about it, about that situation, which is cool. But, you know, actions come with consequences. You know, everything that, no matter if it's good or bad, right? Everything you do in this game has an outcome. Every action has a reaction. So, you know, again, I don't hold it against him. It was an emotional decision for sure, but does he make an emotional decision right now, or does he make a game decision right now?
Right. Yeah. I just hope, because I just hope he doesn't feel like, because I mean, it'd be easy for him to feel like you guys would just be right on him after this, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because of this. So if that was the case, then I think he would make an emotional move. If he thinks that like you guys are just going to target him right away anyways. So, I mean, I think that's when like the reassurance needs to come in. That like, you know, we don't hold this stuff against people. Well,
I did tell him that pre-POV too. Like even after he had nominated us, I was just like, look, man, like put me on the block. Like it's a game. Like I'm not going to hold it against you. So I tried to make those points very clear. So hopefully he realizes that. And like at this point, I think it's an eye for an eye. Like the pantry happened and we're on the block because of it. And there's opportunity for a clean slate.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, you know, I want people on the jury that are going to vote based on the game.
Right.
And I think Kiefer's at the point where he is able to understand that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he does. Because there's definitely people that are in the jury, they would be very emotional.
Well, for sure. I mean, you know, there's people in this house that are going to vote just based on who their friends are.
Yeah.
And I would hate to see that, personally.
Yeah.
Because I always hate watching Big Brother and seeing like so-and-so vote for their best friend as opposed to the person that played the best game.
Yeah.
Because to me, that ruins the integrity of the show. And I understand why people make those decisions, because you form such good relationships with people in a short period of time. And I think that's hard for people to understand watching at home.
Yeah, like the level of the relationship.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like we've been in here for only 23 days, but you spend 24/7 with people.
Exactly.
And you form relationships much quicker than you would on the outside world.
Right.
So I do understand now why people vote for their friends or make decisions that are best for friendships. But I try to put that in the back of my mind in this game. It's like, yeah, I have good relationships with people, but at the end of the day, who's best for my game and who in the jury is going to vote objectively for the winner? Because I know I would.
Yeah.
And I want people to do the same thing if I were to sit in the final two, for example.
Exactly. It should come down to the game. Like who played the best game, not who you're just best friends with.
Exactly.
There's definitely a lot of emotional people in here. I'll tell you that much. It's crazy.
And you know what, that's going to happen, right? I mean, they're not going to, you know, casting is not going to put in a bunch of people that are just like purely strategic, you know, rational people.
Check.
Fuck, I think you might have me.
Yeah, I think that's their goal, not to have people like that in here, you know?
Yeah, you gotta kind of have a blend, so like that's to be expected, and
right.
You know, partially my fault for not realizing that earlier.
Yeah. I think it's like it's easy for people to be like that outside of here, but once they get in here, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.